edition of East Texas Tonight on East Texas Now. Again, if you're not familiar, if you're just joining us for the very first time and you're wondering, what are you doing here, Hannah? Isn't it clock out time? No. We still got a few more minutes to have and enjoy our time together. So what we're doing here is we're stepping away from what we would normally be covering on East Texas Now, and that's news and everything else, coverage, local, national, what have you, breaking news. No, none of that here. I know, we're kind of changing it up a little bit. What we're doing is we're sitting back, we're having conversations, getting to know the faces that I know you've heard of, the names you've heard thrown around, and getting to know those individuals, our East Texas celebrities, if you will, our leaders, our mayors, our judges, our sheriffs, our authors that we have all throughout East Texas, just to name a few examples of what we have going on here. And we're learning more about who they are as a person outside of what they do and what they show up to be every single day in their occupation. So all that to say, tonight we have a fun one. Kylie had a really fun time talking to one of the biggest names in professional fishing. Are you ready? I don't think you are. Let's hear more. All right, I gotta pull it up, zoom in just a little bit here. Let's get to it.
Welcome back, everyone, here to East Texas Tonight. Tonight on East Texas Tonight, we're sitting down with one of the most recognizable names in professional fishing, from tournament trails to TV appearances and life on the water. Jeff Sprague has built a career and passion, competition, and outdoors all surrounding each other. But tonight we're getting to know the man behind the rods and reels and what life looks like beyond the bass boat. So let's get to know you a little bit. Welcome into East Texas Tonight.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm coming to you guys from a heavy hitters event right here in Ocala, Florida. It's a prestigious event. It's probably one of the highest paydays in bass fishing. So we just got off the water and I got into a little restaurant here to get on and jump with you guys. So if I'm a little sunburnt, windburnt, I apologize. It's been a long day on the water.
No, it's all good. It's all good. So let's talk about your love for fishing, because for most of our viewers, they don't really know a lot about you, or some might read about you every week whenever you're in competitions or on the water. They might see you driving by in East Texas. You never know. So tell us a little bit more about how your love for fishing began.
I'm from Edgewood and Wills Point, guys, just right outside of Lake Fork where I grew up. My love for fishing came from, my grandmother. I know that everybody has, those special people in their lives. My dad did take me fishing, but, I remember my grandmother fishing off the dock with a cane pole, and she would be down there with a glass of sweet tea catching catfish, and we would spend just so much time. And I mean, those are some of my fondest memories as a child, and it just kind of grew and developed from there. And then the first time I went to the lake and saw a bass boat with a couple guys in it, and they were going fast, I was with a friend, and we kind of looked at each other, and he's like, "That's cool," and I was like, "Yeah, I think I want to do that." So just been a lifelong dream of mine to pursue it, and I've been very blessed and fortunate to be able to make that happen.
Awesome. So let's talk about your life as a professional angler. What does it really look like behind the scenes?
There's a lot of work that goes into the, behind the scenes things. It takes a whole tribe of people to help us get to where we are. From everybody at home that, that keep my children, my wife, everyone like that, that keep things going at the house. And then, secondly, we have partners and sponsors, NGK Spark Plugs, Lake Fork Parks Authority, Bass Cat Boats, Mercury Motors, Power Pole, Lowrance, all those things. We have a bunch of, sponsors and partners that help us keep there. But, I have a cattle ranch at home as well. I run a lot of cattle, grew up in the country, and just, that was our thing, bass fishing. We would walk from stock pond to stock pond during the summer on our days off and see how many we could catch. And so it's just a passion of mine that I had. And I always thought that we grew up a little less fortunate, but I think that the good Lord gave us just what we needed to be successful with what we do as an adult now. So never think that, your childhood or the way that you were raised was a bad thing. There's always a blessing and a silver lining, and that's what we look at it as.
Well, for people that are unfamiliar with tournament fishing, tell me about how intense the competition is out on the water.
So I fish for we fish for Major League Fishing. We film TV shows at every event. Everything is made for television. We catch, weigh, release on the boat, and it's very strenuous. It's not just strenuous on your body, but we have a score tracker, and so we know what every other angler on the water has at any given time. I know when every person catches a bass. I know who is and who is not catching fish, every time you catch one and you think you're moving up the leaderboard, another guy can catch one and bump you right back down. So it's very mentally stressful. There's a lot that goes into it. We have a traveling boat officials that go everywhere we go. We have a boat official on the boat with us, and we have a cameraman. We use the same technology that they send the Masters golf tournaments out with. So it's the same camera systems. It's that clear. It's amazing. There's a lot of moving parts that go into it, from the league to the anglers. And sometimes I feel like a professional truck driver as much as I drive. Like here I am in Ocala, Florida. We just left Beaver Lake in Arkansas, and we're not done. We still got to go to Sandusky Bay up in Ohio. We've got Oklahoma. There's some more events ahead of us. So there's a lot that really, really goes into this.
All right, so if you had to pick one of your proudest moments in your career, which moment would you think of or talk about?
I've been blessed with a lot of highlights in my life and in my career. But I think that the very first Major League Fishing Cup event that I won was special to me. And that happened on Lake of, oh gosh, I had to ask. I had to bring that up, didn't I? I fished so many lakes. It's an Ozark lake, right behind Beaver Lake. I apologize for the brain, the brain fluff here. It's not Lake. That's what I was going to say, Lake of the Ozarks, but it's not. It's I'm so bad at that's terrible.
Is it Lake Catalina?
No, it's between Lake of the Ozarks. It's between Beaver Lake and Bull Shoals is the name of the lake, guys. Lake Bull Shoals. So that was a very special, and you'd think, well, if it's so special, why can't you remember it? Well, it's because I'm sitting here looking out the window and I see the police going by looking at my truck. So they were taking pictures of my vehicle, so it kind of threw me for a loop.
That's all good. It's all good. I used to live in Northwest Arkansas for about a year or so, so I kind of I was thinking of the lakes that are over there. Beaver Lake is actually huge, and it's beautiful. Yep. It's beautiful. Okay, moving on. Let's talk a little bit more about a common misconception, staying on the topic of us getting things wrong. A misconception people have about professional fishing.
A big misconception about bass fishing and professional fishing in general is that, that you're using live bait and you're just out there sitting on a seat and soaking a worm or having a good time. There's a lot of craft that goes into it. There's a lot of knowledge that goes into it. Years and years of skill building, accuracy, understanding fish patterns and animal behavior, understanding everything from aquatic vegetation to the habitat to the forage that these fish are feeding on. Everything comes into play, and it takes a lot of time to put those years in and to get, to Florida, to New York, to California, to Texas, everywhere that we go to fish across the country, it takes time. So that's a big misconception that we're just out, having a good time. When we get off the water at the end of the day, we're beat. Like, your muscles are sore, your brain is beat, you're making decisions all day long. And so those are really cool things to express to people. And I think a lot of people don't really know that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, let's talk a little bit more about some craft, and I will say craft in this aspect. Do you make your own lures? Is that what I heard from Kyle? Maybe. I don't know. He may or may not have told me that. If I'm wrong, he did not say it, and I just made it up.
No. So I do design baits. I have baits through Lake Fork Lure Company. They're in Emory, Texas. We put those out there across the country. They're in Bass Pro Shops, Tackle Warehouse, Sportsman's Warehouse, all over the place. You can buy them online, so on and so forth. So rods as well. I've designed a lot of outdoor industry tackle and things like that. So with the years of knowledge and the things that we've done and been able to do, I have a really good understanding of what a novice angler, an amateur angler, an intermediate angler, and then an expert level kind of need in their arsenal to make themselves more more appealing and actually a better angler. So it's really nice. It's really cool to be on the water and be in Walmart and see things that you've designed and made go out the door and people be buying it. So it's really it's kind of a, I don't know, just like you kind of get a little smile on your face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I get it. Let's talk about life outside of fishing. All right, outside of tournaments, competition, what does life look like for you?
Raising babies, raising cows. I do run a small business in Dallas as well that I have. I've been very blessed with a partner of mine to allow me to have the time to do this. So I work a tremendous amount, even when I'm not on the road fishing. I work at my office. I work in Dallas. I work designing baits. I work at the cattle ranch. So I don't really have a lot of downtime. I make sure that I keep, um, things coming at me fast. So I just have to keep going. And I like it that way. I don't have a lot of idle time. And I think that that's a good thing. It's just, I'm a busybody. I think most people are that work, 9, 10, 12-hour days. And then they go get their children from daycare, from whoever, and go home. And it's the same for us. We put a lot of time in.
Awesome. Well, when you're not fishing professionally, do you still enjoy fishing for fun?
I do. I enjoy introducing people to fishing. I enjoy getting people in the water and showing people just how easy it can be, and explaining things to people that's taken me a long time to learn. And so those are really key things. We do a lot of things with veterans. Higher Ground, we just did a deal with Higher Ground, which is out in West Texas, out on Lake OH We take, severe combat veterans out and fish, and just I'm a former veteran myself. I served for 8 years, and I got out so I could go bass fishing. So I have a really soft spot for those guys, and the sacrifices that they've gone through. So, my veteran community and everything like that, my heart goes out to them, and we always try to do everything we can do to help bring those guys along, get them readjusted to society.
All right, so it's fun fact time, Jeff. I gotta know,
All right.
what's something that we need to know about you that we've never learned before?
Uh, Look, if you guys could be a fly on the wall in my truck while I'm traveling long distances, you probably would be entertained by a concert. I will crank some, you never know what you're going to hear me sing, but like when I get tired, I will throw it on and I will crank it up and I'm going to put on a concert. You're welcome. Like if there could be a GoPro in my truck, it could be a TV episode. I guarantee it.
You need a dash cam is what you need. One of those dash cams
Oh,
that
no.
faces you, and
I,
it'll just record the whole segment.
Yeah, that would probably get me laughed out of the industry, but it would be a good time. Yeah, I love to sing and go down the road, and by the time I get to where I'm going, sometimes if it's a good playlist, I might be a little hoarse.
Man. All right, so what's your go-to meal after a long tournament day?
Oh gosh. So I tell you what, instead of after the tournament day, how about this? It's before the tournament, and my go-to meal before the tournament is always sushi. We find the best sushi restaurant that we can find. It's always brought me good luck, and I figure if we're gonna go catch fish, we might as well try to eat some fish, and that's my jam. So try to go eat some. And speaking of sushi, you said Northwest Arkansas. We were in Bentonville. Some of the best sushi I've ever had is in Bentonville, Arkansas.
It's
Believe it
so
or not.
good. It's so good.
It is. Yep. It
Oh,
really is. So
I kind of miss it
I know.
sometimes. Okay, what kind of music do you usually listen to while traveling? Since we're on kind of the dash cam talk of you singing, what song would you be singing?
So I'm kind of on a Turnpike Troubadours kick right now. If you want to know the truth, Texas country, red dirt stuff. Like we just went to the old Cross Canadian Ragweed concert at Baylor University this summer. If you guys are familiar with that, and so I like that stuff. But 80s hair band, 90s rock, and then Texas country. That's kind of my thing. And so my playlist is pretty diverse.
All right, well, if you weren't a professional angler, what career do you think you'd be doing?
Well, I already had that. I used to be a firefighter, police officer, EMT, and that's what I thought I would be doing for the remainder of my. I thought I'd be retired doing that. The good Lord blessed me with the opportunity to do this, and so this is what I choose now. But the only other thing, there's two things in the world that I have not done yet. One I will do, and the other one I'm probably not going to get to do. One is be a pilot. I will get my pilot license. I'm working on that actively now. And then secondly is be an attorney. That was it. I wanted to be an attorney or a pilot. And so it looks like I'm going to have to settle for a pilot.
All right, well, what's been the most rewarding part of it all?
The most rewarding part of it all is being able to be in the general public, see people grow up like I grew up across the entire country, see the people that love fishing and love the outdoors as much as we do, and share their passion for it as much as we love it. So it doesn't matter if I'm in Florida or if I'm in Northwest Arkansas or if I'm in upstate New York. Country is countrywide. The outdoors is loved by so many in this country, and it's a really, you get a feel for what's going on, and just to see everybody really come together over fishing, hunting, the outdoors. That's what it's all about.
All right. Well, Jeff, thank you so much for joining us. It was so cool to get to know you, and hopefully we catch you singing on the roadway sometime.
Thank you for your
Hey, thanks for
patience.
having me. It's great to talk to you guys,
Make
and look forward to seeing you
important investigation.
going out
So don't wanna
tomorrow,
rush it,
knockout
and
round for
we
heavy
wanna
hitters.
make
So y'all
sure
stay
everyone
tuned and
has
watch
their
Major League Fishing
questions,
live.
All
answered.
right.